Hey guys, welcome back to Just Talk TV Football, and we're going to bring you our third topic right now, and it's kind of an interesting one. We're going to talk about strikers specifically, including currently the top strikers in Europe, and what we think about the striker position moving forward. No, that was about you, but I think there's only one place to start, and there's only one guy to start with.
I mean, okay, let's take a look at the Germany, Bayern Munich, and that's Robert Lewandowski. Is the Ballon d'Or happening right now?
I think it's cancelled for this year.
It's cancelled, right?
Almost,
but
yeah.
Is it? They have tried to apply for it to be reinstated, but I think it's safe to say if the Ballon d'Or happen again, if it happened for this year, I think Lewandowski, no doubt, is gonna win it for 2020. No doubts in my mind.
I think last season when they cancelled it, he actually had a chance to win it.
Yeah.
I think he was
for
going.
2020.
He stood a great chance to winning it. And
this was the best time for him to win. Like seriously.
I just feel like sometimes with players, right? And then you're talking about strikers. I think if you're going to talk about the world's best striker right now, it does look like it's him. If I'm talking. By the way, we're talking pure strikers here.
Yeah,
we're not
pure
talking
strikers.
Inverted wing strikers. We're not talking.
Not even false nines,
no false nines, nothing like that. We're talking about guys.
Target man, something of that nature.
We're looking at target, holding front number 9 guys, who's you put up there to score goals, you know. And I just think that out of all of the strikers I've seen, this last couple of seasons, it's been Lewandowski hands down.
He's been scoring more than 25 goals per season consistently for the last 5 years.
Just the other week, he played Hertha Berlin. He scored 4.
Yeah, four goals in a match where they won 4-3. So if he didn't play the match, they would have lost 3-0.
I don't think I can speak to the kind of like ability the guy has. He's like, his touch is amazing.
Yeah.
His ability to find the goal is amazing.
His vision, no doubt.
Vision is amazing. You know, and you're talking about like a guy who can change the game just by being a striker. How many 4-goal games has he had? He's had a lot over time.
A lot, yeah. I think he's got like the record hat-trick or something.
Yeah.
It's either that or between him and Haaland. It's either one of those. But yeah, he had a very fast hat-trick last season or 2 seasons ago.
I think the more this position becomes very like obscure now in modern football, the more I come to appreciate a guy like Lewandowski, and that he can still keep it going this long with such a high goal record. How old is he now? Like 34?
He's in the young age of 30.
30s, yeah? He's just freaking amazing.
32,
like,
I mean maximum 34
maximum, yeah. I think he's just fantastic as a striker.
I mean, not only that, he's been scoring like that since his time in Dortmund.
That's why, yeah.
I mean, consistent. I think consistent is the key word for him.
The fact that Dortmund lost him for practically nothing to Bayern Munich is like daylight robbery.
Yeah. Direct rivals as well.
Yeah, I'd hate him like for that. Like, I mean, you can't just leave on a free, man.
Yeah, I mean, he finally won the Champions League. The trophy he left Dortmund for Bayern Munich. He finally won it last season, and in style as well, dominating all these big teams.
He didn't score in the final.
He didn't score in the final, but he's dominated a lot of big teams. He scored against very good teams in the Champions League.
I think this is one of the good things about Lewandowski is that you kind of need 2 guys to be watching him at all times. We talked about this with Luis Suarez a bit, and it kind of like defenders just naturally gravitate to these kind of guys because they're like
I mean, just the presence of him, is enough for you to be scared.
It's dangerous.
I mean, he didn't score in the Champions League final as you said, but I think the presence of him alone is gonna be psychologically bad for the opponent.
I mean, if you have to ask me, the next best striker that we can talk about after Lewandowski is probably Karim Benzema. Okay,
so is Karim Benzema still the world best?
Last season he proved it.
I mean, to be honest, I've written him off 3 seasons ago. I mean, he carried that Real Madrid team last season to the La Liga title.
Exactly.
I was shocked. I thought he was done. I thought he was literally done.
It's so interesting to me that Karim Benzema, even for me, at one point, I think about 3 seasons ago, like you, I thought that he was slowing down.
Yeah, after Ronaldo left, I thought it would be the end of him.
Yeah,
I thought he would be going to like America and all
But
that.
last season, he just opened a whole new facet to his game, and I was like, I was so in respect of it because the guy, the way he changes games, the way he controls the tempo, the way he keeps the ball for his teammates is just out of this world. Like,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, last season I thought when they signed Hazard
and Jovic.
and Jovic, that would be the end of him.
Yeah.
And obviously it wasn't. Jovic had a very bad season. I mean, he played a lot of games, but he didn't score
That was the thing.
much.
Jovic had a terrible season, but Benzema just had a great
Yeah, I
season.
mean, Benzema stepped up.
Yeah.
He literally stepped up to win the league.
I
And
think-
also, let's talk about the other guy who it is. Okay, who's his partner in forward? Okay, there's Hazard,
Vinicius,
Vinicius,
Rodrigo,
Rodrigo.
and then you've got the three in midfield: Cruz, and then you've got Modric, Isco, and then you've got Casemiro with the midfield. But yeah, pretty much it's Vinicius and Rodrigo.
Yeah, and Jovic.
And yeah, Jovic would be the guy who they bring in. But it's just that Jovic can't do the same things that Karim Benzema
Yeah,
can.
I mean,
Because Karim Benzema is just a world-class player. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other way to put it. The guy has a touch on the football.
I mean, politics aside,
Wow, and yeah.
he could actually be the main guy in France, if you ask me.
I remember there was a World Cup where he scored a hat-trick.
Yeah, I think that was in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2010.
He was damn... no, not 2010, bro. 2010 was the disastrous World Cup in South
Oh, I mean
Africa.
2014 then.
2014 probably you're thinking about there.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously since 2016 he wasn't part of the France team
Yeah.
due to off-field antics. So honestly, had it not been for politics in the France team, he would have been the main guy for France. Just for your info, yesterday Giroud just broke the second record, the most top scoring captain, second highest goal scorer for France. I think to be honest, if Benzema was there playing consistently from 2016, I think Benzema might have overtaken Henry as the top scorer.
Didn't Giroud bypass Michel Platini?
Yeah,
His record?
Platini, yes.
Yeah.
So he's now second behind Thierry Henry.
That's a pretty impressive stat actually for Giroud, but that just tells me that if Karim Benzema was still playing in that French national team, you would never stop them again.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Seriously.
How would you stop them? Then again, like, that's really interesting because there was a guy in the French national team I like to compare. I don't really want to put him as a striker, but it was like Antoine Griezmann, and how Antoine Griezmann plays and how Benzema plays. And sometimes I feel like
He was like a striker before at Sociedad, but as of
late.
after that, as of late, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Kevin Gamero was more of a striker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another. French
Kevin
player.
Gamero will not be making a feature on this
Yeah.
list, unfortunately. Great striker though, seriously.
So, yeah, striker, like a pure striker.
Yeah.
So I mean, is he still the world's best?
Yeah.
Last season he did prove he is.
Yeah, sure.
He is on the
He's
bad
gotta be-
side of 30, I guess. He's aging.
doesn't
But
mean
I was
anything,
shocked that he was world class last season.
I think
So
honestly, what
maybe he might
I'm
surprise
noticing
again.
now is the older you are, if you're in this position, the older you are, the better. Because Aguero,
Yeah.
Lewandowski, Benzema, they're all that same
I mean,
age.
Let's look at, yeah, like you said, let's just, what kind of player are they? They're like from the center. They're not really from the wings. I think if you're a winger and you're playing like that at that age, I think you might drop. But I think it goes for their favor playing in the center.
That's what I'm saying.
They
yeah.
don't have to think about like going deep and all that.
These guys generally have long careers. I remember
Yeah,
Drogba
yeah.
went for pretty long, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was one of those guys. Peter Crouch.
yeah.
I say Peter Crouch. Yeah, and like, right? Like, I think all these guys, they have good longevity because their game is not predicated on pace.
Yeah, and
Their game is more predicated on intelligence.
yes, yeah.
I feel like that's how they play. And
Obviously
like,
they have the skills. I mean,
intelligence,
yeah,
feel,
yeah.
touch, all these things matter, and that's why the guys like Zlatan, for example, Zlatan's a case example of this. His touch is amazing, like, and you can see why he's such a deadly striker, and he's one of those guys that fits into this mold. Never ever doubt Zlatan. Like, what the hell?
I mean, he scored almost double digits last
You
season.
should have known.
Half a season, yeah. And he was actually on fire before he got corona. He was scoring goals this season as well.
Yeah, he's definitely on fire. You know who's on fire right now?
Yeah.
Harry Kane.
Okay, so another striker, Harry Kane. Is he world quality for you?
This is like that debate everyone has in coffee shops.
I mean, he's not a one-season wonder, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's on the way of scoring 100 over goals
I
for the
think
Premier League.
the closest thing I can think of when it comes to Harry Kane is Alan Shearer.
I mean, okay, not only that, Alan Shearer has said if there is anyone that's going to be close to
Breaking his record.
breaking his record, it's either Sergio Aguero or Harry Kane. Sergio Aguero,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Sergio Aguero, he started in the Premier League at 24. So okay, Harry Kane started way younger. So I think Harry Kane is world quality to answer that question. I think he can be playing in other leagues.
I have a bit of a question about Harry Kane that sometimes I feel that he needs to play in a certain way and a certain team for him to be the best possible version of himself.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay.
But when it works, it's world class.
Yeah. Okay, the only main issue with him is he's too hardworking.
Wow.
I mean,
okay.
I'm not saying that.
I wish that was the issue my mother had with me.
I'm not saying being hardworking is bad, but I'm saying he drops deep, he goes to the wide, he goes wide, he goes in the center, he goes up, he drops deep. I like sometimes he bypasses people from other positions. So I don't know. How about you? What do you think his weakness is?
There's two weaknesses with Harry Kane. One is he has the propensity to drop deep. That's not a weakness. I wouldn't say that's a weakness. I would say that's just a quirk. Like, it's a style. A lot of strikers nowadays anyway drop deep. It's perfectly acceptable. He wants to be involved in things. That's fine. But I think the second biggest weakness with Harry Kane that I've seen is longevity and his injury concern.
Yeah, I mean, he was injured last season for...
The only thing that will
long
stop
time.
Harry Kane from catching Alan Shearer's record is injury. Because the fella has missed a bucket load of games.
It
due
is
to
said that
injury
if he
alone.
wasn't injured last season, he would have forgotten the Golden Boot. That's been argued. I don't know. I can't counter the argument. But yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Like, injury is an issue for him.
If the dropping deep part only affects Harry Kane in terms of goals, because it means that he has more time to supply guys like Heung-min Son or supply other guys. If he has a good team around him, you know, then he will benefit from it the most.
Relating to what we said just now, the older players in that central role, they need to have intelligence and all that, work hard, work smart. So do you think with what Harry Kane right now, if he continues to be playing like this and consistently being injured once every season like that, do you think he has the longevity of other strikers that we said before, like Lewandowski or Benzema? Because Lewandowski and Benzema didn't do those tendencies, like those quirks, as in dropping deep that much.
I spoke to a few Real Madrid fans who says that Benzema sometimes does drop deep, but I get what you're saying. In a sense, here's the thing, right, about Harry Kane.
Will his style make him
Last longer?
Last longer, yeah.
No, but the thing with that is, I think all strikers start a certain way and then become a different thing. If I remember correctly, I think Shearer was like that a lot.
Shearer was deep before.
Yeah.
Then he became like a no nonsense.
Then he became a straightforward, stand in front of the goal, smash in 9 goals kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know,
nothing fancy, just
I think
shoot in.
with the problem with the Harry Kane situation is Harry he's got no one to play make for him, so he has to be the playmaker in certain cases. There's a quote that some people have been pushing around saying that Harry Kane's like a quarterback. You know, he's like a guy he's a guy who
heard that one before?
Yeah, you've heard it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and people say this, and he's like the kind of guy who likes to take the ball. He likes to look up. He likes to create, but then
he likes to claim a goal.
He likes to push forward and drag and actually score the goals. I think Harry Kane has the potential of being a very, very good striker in all the coming years. I think he is world class. I just don't think that he would function well in a system which requires him to kind of like just stay up. I just don't think he would like that sort of style.
Okay, I think honestly he would be a natural replacement for Real Madrid for Benzema, yeah.
It's a bold shout.
In my opinion, yeah.
You think that he's the next successor to Benzema?
Yes, because Real Madrid has shown a lot of interest for him.
And as usual, we will take Dazan at his word.
Yes.
If he doesn't move to Real Madrid and if he doesn't succeed Benzema successfully, you all can come back here and kutok him in the comment section.
Yeah, kutok. But for you, I'll want you like hot pot or something lah.
Please no hot pot. No hot pot right now, man. Seriously, no. Okay, guys. Okay. All right. let's. So I want to just move on. Like a guy who I think is gonna be the next big thing. He's already like the next big thing. These are two guys right now that are coming up a lot, like currently like really hot right now, and one is Erling Haaland.
Borussia Dortmund.
I don't even need to say much about Erling Haaland anymore. I feel like we've said everything. The guy just scores goals.
Erling Haaland, I mean, he made his name scoring against Liverpool. I mean, he already had a name, but scoring against Liverpool just made him like bent.
I don't think it was him scoring against Liverpool. I think it was him getting the hat trick in the Champions League. I forgot against who, but he didn't.
For Salzburg.
Yeah, for Salzburg.
Yeah,
He got a hat trick, and like every time he comes on the pitch, he scores. And he had that good goal scoring run in the Champions League. I remember about 5 games goal scoring. Yeah, it was a great run for him. And then people started to pay attention, and they started to see his insanity of a goal record with Austria.
Just think, look at last season. He, after the Corona break, where football resumed, he just come in still scoring like nothing happened.
That's what I'm saying.
Like literally, there was no rust at all.
Exactly.
There was no rust.
Once I think right now we're really seeing him as soon as he's joined Dortmund. I followed him since Salzburg, and I'm saying I thought that he was going to have some bedding time to get used to the football in the Bundesliga. No betting time. Fucker just kept scoring.
So him
and I remember
Sancho,
that he had just that one game against Munich where we were like, why?
Yeah.
I think
it was his first Munich match, right? I think.
Yeah. And he's been on fire. He scores and scores. And you know what? A lot of it you want to say. I think you wanted to say Sancho was the reason.
No, I mean just him and Sancho.
I think not. Right now, I'm seeing Reina, the young 19-year-old.
Claudio Reina's son.
Yeah. That guy's getting assists and everything.
Yeah, he got 3 assists in his first match or something. And he's only
Either
18.
that kid is a genius, which is probably true, and the other true fact could be Erling Haaland is just a monster as a striker.
Yeah.
How far do you think he is away from actually catching up to Lewandowski's goal record?
I think for this season.
Do you even think it's a competitive thing at the Golden Boot with these two?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's either between these two. So I think Haaland is going to be scoring a lot of goals. At least he's going to get 100 goals for Dortmund easily if he plays for Dortmund. Obviously, if he continues like this, he's going to be scouted by other teams. So
that's the biggest.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue, and especially I'm not going to say another bold statement, but Lewandowski is kind of old.
Oh no!
And Lewandowski came.
You are not going there, bro.
From Dortmund,
You are not going there.
Yeah,
Are you really going there?
Haaland is almost the same guy.
Oh no.
Well, I think it makes sense if Munich poached him from Dortmund. I mean, tradition is there.
I don't think you should go home today, man.
Yeah, tradition is there, bro.
The yellow wall is going to be finding you. They're gonna come up with pitchforks. Let's go what did you say?
I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just giving my opinion. Shit. It makes sense for it to happen.
Erling Haaland replaces Lewandowski.
I mean,
in Bayern Munich. GG lah.
Yeah, I mean, on the free.
It's been a good run, guys.
Okay, not about him going to Bayern Munich, but do you think Erling Haaland has some quirks like Lewandowski, some playstyle, just some?
I think he can develop it. I don't think he's exactly like Lewandowski. There's a lot of differences.
I mean, he's very young.
Movement-wise, because he's young, that's why.
He's still very young.
would say though that the prolific ability is there, the touch is there. But I think now because he's got a bit of speed and a bit of physical attribute, I think he's finding it easier to use that at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, barring Reina, I mean, who else? Imagine if he had a proper, like a playmaker, like a Christian Eriksen. So I think he will score even more goals.
Christian Eriksen.
I mean, something like Christian Eriksen do to Harry Kane.
Erling Haaland's one of these guys. I think that he benefits off his wings a lot as well, in that they feed him the ball. His midfields also put through balls into him, so he's got a lot of good form. I think one thing about Erling Haaland is if you're gonna say that playmaker is gonna back him up, I cannot.
I'm not saying he's gonna break him up. I'm saying imagine if he has a playmaker. as to to complement him right now.
I mean,
Like-
that would be
like-
Sancho lah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like from the middle, like Ericsson.
Wingers can be playmakers too now. Doesn't
Yeah, okay,
we
like-
live in that kind of world?
If he had Trent, imagine if he has Trent. Oh, that's crazy, man.
Man,
So he is on fire. I think he is gonna be one of the next best big things right now.
yeah, I think honestly he's gonna be up there. He's
Yeah.
coming up.
Ooh.
I think it's soon gonna be a
World
debate.
class,
We're gonna have a
world class.
debate because João Felix and him are pretty much like the most hot properties right now. And then in Madrid, it's Vinicius, Rodrigo. Those guys are coming up as well.
So,
But let's talk about the next big
another guy,
striker. Yeah,
in the Premier League,
in the Premier League.
an academy player, local lad.
There's only
So-
one reason why I hate talking about this is because it's bloody Everton. But we have to talk about Everton, so let's all talk about Everton now.
So okay, so it's their number 9, which is Dominic Calvert Lewin, who has been scoring. He already scored 6 goals this season in 4 appearances. So he's still very young. So what do you think about him? His goals ratio is 1.5 per game.
In 4 games.
Yeah, in 4 games. That's crazy. And 4 wins as well. 4 winning games.
I don't know. You know what? You know what people say, right, about strikers. Sometimes your job as a striker is basically to provide the goals, right? Like defenders defend, midfielders control tempo of the game, strikers score. This is traditional football in that very sense. And how Ancelotti has set up this team kind of feels more adherent to the traditional styles of football. I'm not saying that Dominic Calvert Lewin doesn't do his defensive duties. If we're talking about defense alone, you can see that he does rush back, he does contribute, he does commit fouls, put in tackles, not like heroic numbers or anything, like 3 tackles.
Yeah, 3
But-
tackles.
but-
4 striker.
Yeah, headed clearances, interceptions, But if you're talking about as a striker, what he does, let's talk about that, because the guy pretty much lives on the tenet that if you're a striker, this is the number one rule of being a striker, guys. And Carlo Ancelotti said this at the end of the first game or the second game with Everton when Dominic Calvert Lewin scored. The best strikers in the world know how to score at one touch.
I mean, okay.
No, that's just the truth.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It's the truth. This is the advice. Apparently, Ancelotti said he told the same thing to Filippo Inzaghi. Filippo Inzaghi was a guy who can score with just one touch. And I know sometimes we discredit strikers who can score tap-ins and stuff like that because he's just a tap-in. But the ability to score with just one touch is not something that everyone has.
You need vision and all that, not just skills.
Exactly.
Timing, everything,
Exactly. It's all about timing. It's all about positioning. It's all about instinct, knowing when to cut, knowing when to hold your ground, knowing when to jump for headers. I think these are things that strikers will. Dominic Calvert Lewin is not having the kind of run where most of his goals I'm seeing from him is all done with just one touch.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing complicated about his goals. It's all just simple, and you can become a world-class striker that way. I believe that still holds true. I know nowadays people expect strikers to do a lot of different things, but for a striker, life is simple. You just need to score with just one touch, and that's what Dominic Calvert-Lewin for me. If you're talking about his win ratio, this season it's 4 games. Last season, if I'm not mistaken, when he played 36 games, and in 13 of the games that he did score, they won 12 times. I'm just saying, goals lead to victories. You need to win games in order to get points. And as a striker, I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin's on the right track. But I don't know if I'm ready to put him in the bracket of the world's best yet. Even Europe's best. I'm not sure I'm ready.
One of the best in England right now, isn't he? He's still very young.
I think the potential is there. I just
very
think
young.
what's going to happen when he runs into a soft patch, you know what I mean? what is it? What is going to be his determining quality to make him a striker? Is it simply just finishing, or is there something else that's going to make him the best? I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I mean, to me, he has to polish up. He does show that he's kind of raw right now, but he's very young, so I mean, obviously he's gonna be very raw. I think he has to polish up his weaker foot, because currently right now 6 games, he scored 3 with the header and 3 in right foot, his dominant foot. So he has to do something with his
Build up with his left foot.
Left foot. But it's optional, you know. It doesn't have to be.
No, man. I would argue that you're completely 100% correct. Yeah. Do like a lot of the best strikers in the world now can use both their feet.
Yeah. Even Messi can pass with the both legs. Yeah.
I mean, talking strikers here.
Yeah, strikers, okay. Yeah. I mean, when the time needs it, he has to score. We don't want another Van Persie situation where Robin Van Persie can only score with his left.
But you do realize that Robin Van Persie is one of the legends of the game, right?
Yes, I know. Yeah, but I mean, towards the end of the career. Okay.
We're heaping praise on Dominic Calvert Lewin, but I don't think he's as skilled as any of these strikers. I just thought that right now he's in hot form.
The potential is there. I mean, the potential itself, what he could become. So it's a good shout out. So okay, on to the next one.
I don't think there's one. I just want to say it. This actually leads to the next point. There's one guy that Dominic Calvert Lewin needs to look up to for this, and for this kind of form to continue. And that's the guy we're going to talk about next, which is Jamie Vardy. Right now in the Premier League, we've got 3 guys, right? Aubameyang, Vardy, and Aguero. I don't think you can call Vardy a flash in the pan anymore. The guy won the Golden Boot last year. He's pretty much on form. He's now scoring goals, you know.
He finally got to the 100 goal mark in the Premier League, starting very late.
And then you got Aubameyang, who's a fantastic striker. Although he doesn't really play the main striker, that's Lacazette.
Yeah, I mean, he had his early days as a winger, right?
Yeah.
But now he's as a striker. So okay, the other guy is Aguero, another guy that's from the central role.
When you look at the world, what the world is in general, and you look at all the strikers we talked about, Lewandowski, Benzema, Kane, you know, Haaland. Where do you think guys like Aubameyang, Vardy, and Aguero, where do they come in?
So okay, we take a look at Haaland. So Haaland will be okay with Haaland is okay when he has wingers with him as well. So he's a 4-3-3. So I think with Aubameyang, they did play a lot of 4-2-2, where he's 2 strikers with Lacazette. But of course, there was Nicolas Pepe as well. So he's a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-2. But for me, he has shown that he is quite good in the middle.
Aubameyang?
Yeah, Aubameyang, yeah.
But how about as a striker?
As a striker, he has the speed and he has the control, but more of a support. But he scored a hell of a lot of goals.
So you feel it's more of a Dennis Bergkamp, less of a prolific kind of striker?
Somewhat of a Van Persie. I mean, Van Persie was as a spot striker before this.
I do get where Aubameyang is trying to come from, because speed-wise, he's pretty much there.
Yes.
I think you gotta give him credit, because the guy is a goal machine when he gets on.
Yeah.
He just will score goals. It's just normal. I do think he's more of a Thierry Henry, maybe, like the position-wise.
He started middle and then he drifts up wide.
Yeah.
You mean something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And he does like to drift, and I think that sometimes that maybe...
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Naturally, he started as a winger. He was known as a winger before he moved to Arsenal.
Yeah, and I think that he's one of those guys who, once he drifts, he ends up playing that supporting role that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
To guys like Lacazette and all these guys, you know?
Even in the 4-4-2, I think they played a lot of 4-4-2 last season when Nicolas Pepe is not playing. So, I mean, yeah, he essentially becomes the winger. So, like the left-sided midfielders, they were not really wingers. That was like Aubameyang's job and all that. So I think
I do think Aubameyang carries a lot of danger when he comes from that side, though. I've seen him score a lot of goals from that angle.
Yeah.
And so that's his sweet spot that he likes to hit. So
I mean, this kind of it reminds me.
It's a lot like Henry to me.
Yeah, Henry, some Owen, young Owen lah, like a young Owen, like a 2001 Ballon d'Or Owen, like drifts up wide. Then once he's wide, he cuts in and then he scores. Somewhat of a poacher and a speedster. Not a target man, but a poacher.
Right.
Once he has the position to score, he will just take it and score.
Yeah, that's the one guy. How about let's talk about Aguero before I talk about Vardy.
Okay, Aguero for me is a target man and a poacher.
Alright.
He doesn't. He does
He's
play
more
wide.
central, more.
Yeah, he is central, but Pep does play him wide sometimes when they play a 4-3-3. But even though he start wide, he comes in, drifts in. So I think Gabriel Jesus will always start in the middle and he will be wide. But I think most of the time, if you look at the matches that he start wide, he just changes with whoever's in the center. So I think naturally he is what a central striker was and is. I think
I would say that there's a lot of interesting thing when it comes to Pep's teams because we never know. Sometimes if Jesus doesn't play, I do think the Aguero position, when Aguero plays and Sterling plays, they interchange a lot.
Yeah.
And then they switch between the two, and we don't know who's the actual striker.
Yeah.
But when push comes to shove, I always see Aguero in the central, and that's where things happen for City.
Yeah.
Traditionally,
I mean, okay, let's look at before they have like Gabriel Jesus. Before that, when he was twin striker partner with Zeko or Balotelli.
Zeko, yeah.
I mean, 4-4-2, traditional 4-4-2 or something, force two strikers. I mean, he was bang machine, bringing in goals, everything.
But I think at that time he was more dynamic guy.
Yeah.
Right now, injuries and all kind of like forces him to the middle.
He is a bit on the stocky side, even though he was short, but he's very stocky.
But that guy can score.
Yeah.
Like every time he scores and he comes back, he scores like 5 goals or something, and then we're all like, oh, there
double
goes the
digits,
golden boot. Yeah,
double digits all the time.
Yeah, like so he's definitely. I think you can put Aguero in that top class of striker alongside Lewandowski and Benzema.
I think he's already like in his twilight of his career.
Yeah.
But he still has what it takes. But I think if he goes to Italy, there will be no issue. He'll be still banging his goals.
So you think that he'll be more effective in Italy? Okay.
Yeah, if he decides to go there when he's older.
I'm interested to see who he might go to if that's the case. So then, finally, the one that's the most controversial, Jamie Vardy. What I think personally, Jamie Vardy, if you put him in a high press system, he's excellent. Like, you can't have a guy who is more annoying to defenders. That guy will hunt you down and kill you. Like literally, he is a pain in the ass.
A pure poacher.
Yeah, just pure monster.
Not only a target man, just a pure poacher.
He takes every chance, everything, and
optimist everything.
Yeah, I'm just surprised a guy like this. How old is he now?
He's 32, 33. Yeah.
That's a really long career. Like not long, but like
I mean, he started quite.
He started late.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
He never even set foot in a Premier League game until like 27.
And look how dangerous he is, and look how much he's like pure aggression, pure grit. You know, like there's no with Vardy. I don't see any skill involved. I see a lot of determination, will.
Yeah.
You know, running, speed. You know, like a lot of harrying. He bothers defenders.
I think he's more of a tendency than a skill.
Yeah.
Tenacity.
And what's great about him? Tenacity. Yeah.
Tenacity,
and what's great about him is how he knows how to break through. You know, I don't know if you remember his goals at the start of the season. He was killing it position-wise.
Yeah.
He was getting into positions.
That second goal that he scored against Man City. I mean, wow! Just seriously, wow! That backflip score. I mean, people will say that he scored a hat trick with 2 penalties, but okay, don't take away the fact that the second goal he scored with pure skills.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Against City.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's the kind of guy who wins. But a lot of fans outside of the Premier League, La Liga fans, don't give Vardy his due. Serie A fans don't give Vardy his due. Bundesliga fans definitely don't give Vardy his due. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like, I guess it's because, I mean, he played for a champion side, Leicester, but I think the way I see it, he's just too much of a traditionalist of the old school kind of thought. Just a poacher.
But I can't remember a striker like him. Like I literally cannot remember another striker with this specific skill set. Like I think.
I mean, I would say only one season for Kevin Phillips. Just one season, yeah.
That's a good shot.
The one they scored 30 goals and won the goal. But that's just one.
But was he like super aggressive or something? Like I don't remember.
I mean, he was because Kevin Phillips was very short, so he had to show that aggressiveness like a bulldog.
Phillips is very short.
Yeah, he's like my height, dude. Yeah,
Okay, Dazlan,
so
you're
okay.
not that short, bro.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
So okay. I think before this, it's really unheard of in the Premier League era that a non-league guy would end up being a legend like this and winning the Premier League.
What does the guy have to do to get international recognition right now? I understand
just
Leicester's not in the
pure,
Champions
yeah.
League. Yeah, I get that. But like, if you're asking me as a striker, he's so good. I don't know why people cannot respect Jamie Vardy.
I think we do. It's just that the people of other leagues, not. But the Premier League fans, no issue.
Of course.
They know it. They
Like,
know what he's
if we
capable
watch
of.
English football, we love Jamie Vardy. But you know who's playing like Vardy though? You know another guy who is kind of like Vardy? Is Danny Ings.
Oh yeah. He's having a resurgence right now.
Right. I mean, that's the kind of striker now that is developing. And I just wonder if guys like Jamie Vardy will ever be in this conversation
I mean,
of world's best strikers.
in a time where right now wingers are dominating the game, I think that's the issue right now. Central strikers, like the players we said before, they're not a dying breed, but they're becoming more rare.
Redundant.
Yeah, redundant. I mean, now it's all false
False
nines,
nines.
deep lying forwards,
Right. Ollie
wingers.
Watkins.
Only Watkins. Even wingers now is not the wingers that I grew up to be. What wingers was, like when I was growing up, wingers was from in the midfields, not in the front three. So
I think the resurgence of Messi and Ronaldo kind of like pumped that up, right? I mean, they turned wingers into forwards, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the traditional idea of wingers was never the same again. I guess.
I mean, like Ronaldo was a winger like before this.
Yeah.
So
I
now
remember
he's a
that.
striker,
All sorts of things when it comes to this thing, which is why I'm like, when I look at this, I'm so reminisced about the fact that guys like Jamie Vardy won't get the kind of recognition that they might have gotten in a different era.
Yes. Yeah.
But it cannot be overstated what he does. The guy is a monster. Like you cannot have the thought that he's anything other than that, because he's just amazing in terms of will and tenacity. Like he's incredible. But you see guys like, I think a lot of people are gonna ask, you have a top striker list but you don't have Mbappe in this list? Bro, I mean, is Mbappe even a striker?
Alright, as I said just now, in the time of wingers and all that, so Mbappe right now comes in a list where, is he a striker? Is he a winger? What is he?
I don't know, man.
All I
think
know
he's
is
a hybrid.
he's a top talent. That's all I can see.
He is.
Yeah, and that plays in front.
Yeah, I think it's hard for me to tell. Like, I honestly feel like this is the same problem that Rashford's gonna have, right? Because Mbappe and Rashford are technically like both wingers who are now strikers, who are technically still wingers. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
If PSG had their way, I think they would have Mbappe play on the wing. I honestly think that's what they would do.
Yeah,
Because
I think they really want to have him in the mold of Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi.
probably.
Yeah.
They also know that that's probably where they can do the most amount of damage. The guy they would want in the middle is anyone other than that guy. But because they had Di Maria, Neymar, they need someone to play in the middle, and Neymar fits that build because he can run. Sorry, Mbappe. I mean, Mbappe fits that bill because he can run. I think the same story with Rashford. I think now they would rather just have him play on the wing and put someone like Cavani in the middle, because that's where the old guys with touch go, right? Like that's why the guys we mentioned, I think only one of them is like at below 21.
Yeah.
Like the rest of them are all like okay, two of them, Haaland and Calvert Lewin. But if you ask me, that's like, I don't know if Mbappe can be considered a pure striker anymore, because he's not a pure striker.
I don't think he ever was a pure striker.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's just a winger somehow. Like a Mo Salah. If you're gonna call him a striker, you're gonna have to call Mane or Mo Salah a striker.
That is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And
It's not like a Aubameyang situation where he starts in the middle and drifts forward. He's always in the forward. Yeah.
and even then,
cuts in.
exactly.
Yeah.
And even then, they've got Lacazette who plays that number 9 role anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think at the end of it, really, we should appreciate pure strikers while they're still here, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And guys like Lewandowski, Benzema, Haaland, these are the last guys of the generation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Haaland and Lewin.
Calvert Lewin.
Kevin Lewin, yeah, because okay, the one we said like Aubameyang, Vardy, Aguero, they technically played last decade, so they're still in the old generation.
Right.
So Haaland and Kevin Lewin is the newer generation of central strikers. So let's hope that there's more of them.
I do hope there'll be more. I think, I do think there's some guys who can carry that mold. There's some guys we didn't mention today, like, but they're not. I don't think they're world quality. But guys who are similar to this are guys like Mitrovic or guys like
Mitrovic, yeah.
you know.
Ollie Watkins is not really, but maybe he could be. He is a winger. So
The Ollie Watkins thing still hurts.
Yeah, okay.
It's still a sore wound. But we did mention in our previous transfer show that Ollie Watkins was the guy to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Just saying, we mentioned that.
We called it.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. This whole. But I do think that it's great that we have strikers. I think if Lewandowski keeps going, he'll be the best. So if we're talking about tallies this season, who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot in the Premier League? Anyway.
Okay, the Premier League as of right now. Vardy is there somehow.
I think Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, Vardy. Harry Kane if he doesn't get injured. Jamie Vardy if age does not catch up to him. Money I think might not be because.
Maybe Salah. It's gonna be anyone from Liverpool. It's gotta be Salah.
Danny Ings for me.
Danny
Ings and Harry Kane. It's gonna be an English flavor.
I'm sticking with Harry Kane.
Yeah, or maybe joint. Joint.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah. In terms of, I don't think
But I think we're in agreement that right now the best striker in Europe is Lewandowski, right?
Yes, I don't think a winger is gonna get the Golden Boot.
There you have it.
Yep.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for being with us today.
Right. Thanks for having us.
Yep. We'll see you next week, and we got more topics. If you have any comments, please do comment below.
Yeah. And if you have any ideas,
please do comment below.
Yeah.
Or email us, whichever. And also, don't forget, guys, please do comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you on the flip side.
Alright, bye. You can put your hand down.